Today, anticipating your customers' needs. So let me set the stage here. You ever been in a position where you submitted an estimate and you find out the customer got another estimate from another contractor, but they quoted it for a different system? And then you kind of feel like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was going to be in consideration. So you must find your customers' needs and wants early on and anticipate them. So how do I do this? Early on, I ask many good questions when I'm either taking down the phone call and before I go out to the estimate, or when I'm meeting them on a sales call, to actually ask really good questions. Questions that I ask are, how old is the roof? What are some immediate issues that you're having? They're gonna tell you if they have ongoing leaks or heat loss or premature failure. Also, ask them to give me a general history on the roof, and you're gonna find out right there a lot of customers are going to elaborate, and they're gonna give you a lot of good details on the roof, just by asking what the history of the roof is. What other systems are you considering? And you're gonna find here that customers have already done some of their own homework. Some aren't. Some are gonna just want to take your advice and expect you to give them a lot of information, but you're going to find some guys that are good at researching, and they will already have several systems in mind, and that doesn't mean you can't recommend more, but at least you know what they're looking for. Also, a good question to ask is, do they have a budget? And sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, sometimes they will and they don't want to share it with you, but many times, more often than not, they're more than willing to let you know that they do have a budget in mind. And last question I ask them is, what results are you trying to achieve with this new system? And that's an open-ended question that they can tell you really what they plan on achieving. Do they plan on achieving a better R value? Do they plan on achieving a leak-proof roof? Do they plan on achieving a roof that's going to last more than 20, 25 years? Then that'll get in your mind what they want to achieve in their mind. So when I have all those questions, and there's other questions that I ask too when I'm on the fly talking to a customer, you really just got to be good on your feet. But coming up with your own questions is a good idea, and coming up with your own questions takes time and intention. You must intentionally take notes on why you won or lost a project while you're going through the process, and what some of the factors were of why you won or lost a project. Afterwards, even after I've lost a sale, sometimes I followed up with a customer and found out that it got awarded to another contractor, and I'll ask why. What was the deciding factor? I understand that you didn't go with us, but if you could just share with me what the deciding factor was. And I've never had a customer not tell me what that deciding factor was. And so right there, you got free information that'll help you to continue to hone your skills in the future. I'm going to explain a couple of projects that I had in the last couple of years where I actually lost projects, and how I found out why I lost that project. We bid a road commission a few years ago that I actually knew a lot of the people in there, and I felt like I had a really good foot in the door. I had already done some repairs there. I had an established relationship, but for whatever reason, I was $1,300 more than the lowest bidder. And so, not that I want to be the lowest bidder, but I couldn't figure out how they had bid that so low when they were quite a bit of distance further away than I was. Come to find out that they had anticipated that there was going to be more rotten or corroded decking than I had. The lesson that I learned on that project, I take more core samples. They took enough core samples to get a better feel for what the roof decking was, and then they could anticipate making more money on the back-end repairs. And so that's a little risky sometimes, but it played well for them, and because they had more experience than I had, they knew how to do that. Number two project that I had was for a company that we've done quite a bit of work with, and they bought a second facility, or a third facility actually, and wanted me to put a roof on it. Going in, I think it was a 6 or 7/12 pitch, and we'd talk extensively about coating, and so I quoted a coating system for them. And when it was all said and done, I found out they awarded the project to another company who decided to do a PVC system overlay with flute fillers. And couldn't figure out why. Why would they have gone with that system? It seemed like it would cost more money. But I had built into my price a little bit more money for the coating system because It's hard to put coating on jobs that are over 5 or 6 square because the dynamics change. Things don't move as uneasy as the roof. You can't drag hoses as much easy on the roof. At least for us, we found it's easier to work on 312 pitches and lower with coating. So I had some cost built into there, but I didn't even anticipate or think about being able to do a PVC overlay system, even though we've done them before. And if I would have known that ahead of time, I would have bid that as an option too. But I didn't. I didn't ask the right questions. I didn't find out the right criteria that the customer was looking for, and so I lost that job. So that's the video. If you could go ahead and like and share the video, that would be awesome. And also try visiting our YouTube channel and subscribe to that also, as we're always posting new content on there for good videos. Stay safe, guys.